Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we are watching 12 Angry Men. This is number 87 on the AFI list. It's new on the updated list. I know nothing about it. I'm very excited to watch and knock another movie off the list. Let's get into this thing. Roll tape. The Justice. Oh, it's a black and white. A courthouse. Cool transition. This is so interesting how the camera's panning through the courthouse and they're following along all the people.
You've listened to a long and complex case, murder in the first degree.
Murder.
It's now your duty to sit down and try and separate the facts from the fancy. One man is dead, another man's life is at stake. If there's a reasonable doubt in your minds as to the guilt of the accused, then you must bring me a verdict of not guilty. Now, if, however, there's no reasonable doubt, then you must, in good conscience, find the accused guilty.
Look at all the jurors. It's my dream to do jury duty.
That you find the accused guilty, the bench will not entertain a recommendation for mercy.
All men. 12 angry men.
You're faced with a grave responsibility. Thank you, gentlemen.
It is a grave responsibility. How do you get it right? That was really interesting. Them penning over the whole jury. I'm in 100%. This is like totally my jam. Oh my God, it's a child. Oh no. They were all looking at him when they walked away. Oh no. He's on trial for murder. 12 Angry Men. Henry Fonda. I've never seen anything with Henry Fonda. Jury duty would be quite difficult. The room is so hot. Or where are they? That's gonna make them really angry. The heat's not gonna help. He's sweating bullets. Get some airflow in here.
I called the weather bureau this morning. This is going to be the hottest day of the year.
The day we have to decide and give our verdict. Well, I guess they can take as much time as they want.
Everybody's here. Now, if there's anything you want, I'll be right outside the door.
Is this movie gonna be just all about the jury in deliberation?
I never knew they locked the door.
Sure they locked the door. What'd you think?
Oh, I thought we might want to vote by ballot.
Great idea. Maybe we can get him elected senator.
Ha 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 ha. I don't think it's funny though.
How'd you like it?
Oh, I don't know. It was pretty interesting.
I almost fell asleep.
We're really gonna get to see everybody's character and their morals and their prejudices. It's gonna be really interesting, I think.
Talk and talk, even when it's an open and shut case like this one. I mean, did you ever hear so much talk about nothing?
Well, I guess they're entitled.
If you ask me, I'd slap those tough kids down before they start any trouble. Now, let's get started, huh?
Good idea. Yeah, let's get going, huh? We probably all got things to do here.
So he obviously thinks the kid's guilty, but I guess we only learned about the trial with what they have to say.
Yeah, it's not a bad view, huh?
The camera work is so cool already.
I tell you, we were lucky to get a murder case. I figured that's for an assault or burglary. Boy, they can be the dullest.
Say, Eddie, and what about that business with the knife? I mean, asking grown-up people to believe that kind of jazz, huh?
I want to say that the camera has its own personality, but it's almost like it's its own person, taking like little vignettes of everyone and moving around. Oh, it's so cool. Right now I like this guy that's like writing all the notes down, wanting to do the ballots. He seems like he has like organization.
Okay, man, let's take our seats, huh?
But we'll see. That could all change.
I happen to have tickets to that ball game tonight. Yanks in Cleveland.
Oh, so he wants to get out of here because he wants to go to the game.
Where do we sit here?
Well, I thought we'd sit in order, you know, by jury numbers of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on around the table.
It's an easy way to follow the movie. So no names, just jury number 1, jury number 2.
What was your impression of the prosecuting attorney?
I was very impressed.
I think he did an expert job.
Gentlemen at the window. We'd like to get started.
This guy's been very aloof or distracted.
Is everyone here?
The old man is inside.
Oh, would you knock on the door for him?
Yeah.
Was it mostly male juries all the time back then? Or was that the point of the movie? Because there is a women's washroom, so obviously they just ended up pulling men for this one.
You fellas can handle this thing any way that you want to. I'm not going to make any rules. Well, discuss it first and then vote on it. That's, of course, that's one way. And Well, we can vote on it right now, then.
Oh, that guy's just checking his watch.
Yeah, let's vote. Who knows? Maybe we can all get out of here, huh?
Uh-huh.
It's someone's life at stake. You're gonna try to rush it?
But you know that we have a first-degree murder charge here, and if we vote the accused guilty, we've got to send him to the chair.
To the chair.
I think we know that.
Let's see who's where.
Just remember that this has to be 12-0 either way. That's the law.
Yeah, okay.
All those voting guilty, please raise your hands.
Oh, so the guy that I thought was aloof, he's been very, very concerned.
8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, that's 11 guilty. Who's voting not guilty?
He's the only one. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Is he going to be able to convince people otherwise?
Now we know where we are.
Boy, oh boy, there's always one.
Oh,
So, what do we do now?
that's what he was ruminating over.
You really think he's innocent?
I don't know.
You sat in court with the rest of us. You heard what we did. The kid's a dangerous killer. You could see it.
He's 18 years old.
Oh, he's 18.
He stabbed his own father 4 inches into the chest. They proved it a dozen different ways in court. Would you like me to list them for you?
No.
I don't want to hear that again, probably.
Just want to talk.
Well, what's there to talk about? 11 men in here think he's guilty. No one had to think about it twice except you.
Do you believe his story?
I don't know whether I believe it or not. Maybe I don't.
He just has questions.
Well, there were 11 votes for guilty. It's not easy to raise my hand and send a boy off to die without talking about it first.
Love this guy.
What, just because I voted fast? I honestly think the guy's guilty. Couldn't change my mind if you talked for 100 years.
We're talking about somebody's life here. Can't decide it in 5 minutes, supposing we're wrong.
Supposing we're wrong.
Supposing you're wrong.
Look, what's the difference how long it takes? Suppose we do it in 5 minutes, so what?
Let's take an hour. Ball game doesn't start till 8 o'clock.
Who's got something to say?
I'm willing to sit for an hour.
Great.
Oh, what a sweetheart.
This kid's been kicked around all of his life. You know, born in a slum, mother dead since he was 9. He lived for a year and a half in an orphanage when his father was serving a jail term for forgery.
Oh, God.
A wild, angry kid, that's all he's ever been. And you know why? Because he's been hit on the head by somebody once a day, every day. He's had a pretty miserable 18 years. I just think we owe him a few words, that's all.
Give him a chance.
I'm telling you this, mister. We don't owe him a thing. He got a fair trial, didn't he? What do you think that trial cost? He's lucky he got it. Listen, I've lived among them all my life. You can't believe a word they say. They're born liars.
Only an ignorant man can believe that. Do you think you were born with a monopoly on the truth? I think certain things should be pointed out to this man.
Come on, this isn't Sunday. We don't need a sermon.
Come on, we have a job to do now. Let's do it.
It's a product I work on at the agency. Breakfast with a built-in bounce.
Salesman.
Say, do you mind?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we have a murder trial on our hands.
The gentleman down there who's disagreeing with us, well, perhaps you could tell us why. You know, let us know what you're thinking, and we might be able to show you where you're mixed up.
Okay.
Seems to me that it's up to the group of us to convince this gentleman that he's wrong and we're right.
Suppose we go once around the table. I guess you're first.
Oh, his heart. What number juror is he?
Well, it's hard to put into words. I just think he's guilty.
Oh.
I thought it was obvious from the word go. I mean, nobody proved otherwise.
Nobody has to prove otherwise. The burden of proof's on the prosecution.
Mm-hmm.
The defendant doesn't even have to open his mouth. That's in the Constitution.
Oh, well, sure, I know that. Well, I just think he's guilty. I mean, somebody saw him do it.
Oh, the camera is so
I
good.
have no personal feelings about this. I just want to talk about facts.
Oh, do you take notes?
The old man lived downstairs under the room where the killing took place. Said it sounded like a fight. And he heard the kid yell out, "I'm going to kill you."
Maybe the dad said
So
that.
they came in, found the old man with a knife in his chest. Time of death around midnight. These are facts. You can't refute facts. The kid is guilty. No, he's only 18, but he's still got to pay for what he did.
Right, next. It was obvious, to me anyway, that the boy's entire story was flimsy. He claimed he was at the movies during the time of the killing, and yet 1 hour later, he couldn't remember the names of the films he saw or who played in them.
Listen, what about the woman across the street?
That's a little bit suspicious, but maybe he just had so much trauma he can't remember.
She looks out the window, and right across the street, she sees the kid stick the knife into his father.
Eyewitness?
Look, she's known the kid all his life. His window was right opposite hers across the L tracks, and she swore she saw him do it.
Through the windows of a passing L train.
Right.
Oh.
And they proved in court that at night you can look through the windows of an L train.
You don't believe the boy's story. How come you believe the woman's? She's one of them, too, isn't she?
You're a pretty smart fella, aren't you?
Honestly, this ensemble that I've never seen before is absolutely so amazing. They were all so unique and their performances are already all incredibly nuanced. This is so crazy. They're so individual. It's amazing.
Now, can I pass it?
That's your privilege.
I was looking for a motive. If you don't have a motive, where's your case, right? I was looking for a motive. Anyway, that testimony from those people in the apartment across the hall from the kid's apartment.
And they heard the father hit the boy twice, and they saw the boy run angrily out of the house. What does that prove?
Don't exactly prove anything. Part of the
Well, you
picture.
said it provided a motive. This boy's been hit so many times in his life that violence is practically it's a normal
He's probably
state of affairs.
concussed from all the abuse.
Can't see 2 slaps in the face provoking him into committing murder.
That's true.
Everyone has a breaking point.
Maybe, yeah, he was used to it. It's just another day for him.
I
This
don't know.
guy.
It's all been said. You can talk here forever. It's still the same thing. Well, look at his record. When he was 10, he was in children's court. When he was 15, he was in reform school. Been arrested for mugging.
Doesn't mean you're a murderer, though.
Yeah, they say he's real handy with a knife.
Ever since he was 5 years old, his father beat him up regularly. He used his fists.
It's these kids, the way they are nowadays.
They say that all the time, no matter what
When I
decade.
was a kid, I used to call my father sir.
Fathers don't seem to think it's important anymore.
You got any kids?
3?
I got one. 22 years old.
I guess it just all depends on how you've grown up, what your prejudices are, and your biases in life, and how you judge people.
Make a man out of you if I have to break you in two trying. And I made a man out of him. When he was 16, we had a fight. Hit me in the jaw. He's a big kid.
So is that what makes you think that he could kill you? That other kid could kill his father?
Haven't seen him for 2 years.
Or maybe he just hated you because you're an asshole.
We're here to decide whether he's innocent or guilty.
Oh, God. Look at it. The camera stayed on him and his hurt.
It's no secret children from slum backgrounds are potential menaces to society.
Not true.
The kids who crawl out of these places are real trash. I don't want any part of them, I'm
God,
telling
that's
you.
just an awful way to think about the world, isn't it?
I've lived in a slum all my life.
Wait a minute.
Please, I played in backyards that were filled with garbage. I mean, maybe you can still smell it on me.
Come on now, there's nothing personal
Oh,
about
there
this.
was something
Oh,
personal.
come on, fella. He didn't mean you. Let's not be so sensitive.
Of course he meant you. Are we still looking at the picture of him and his son? Imagine that was your kid on trial.
I didn't expect a turn. I thought you were all going to try to convince me. Wasn't that the idea?
He's the one who's keeping us in here. Let's hear what he's got to say.
This room is going to get very stuffy very, very fast.
Take it. You take on the responsibility. I'll just keep my mouth shut, that's all.
What are you getting so hot about? Calm down, will you?
Ooh, the tensions are starting to rise. People want to leave. They want to get this over with. I'm stressed. They're doing a really good job at capturing all these little minute interactions between all the characters. And they've done it since the opening scene.
All right, I don't have anything brilliant. I only know as much as you do. I sat there in court for 6 days listening while the evidence built up. You know, I began to get a peculiar feeling about this trial. I mean, nothing is that positive. There are a lot of questions I'd have liked to ask. I don't know, maybe they wouldn't have meant anything, but he let too many things go by, little things that...
What little thing?
Little things that all add up to a big thing.
Maybe it's also possible for a lawyer to be just plain stupid, isn't it? And it's possible.
You sound like you met my brother-in-law once.
Okay, guy.
Yeah, putting myself in the kid's place. I'd have asked for another lawyer, I think. I mean, if I was on trial for my life, I'd want my lawyer to tear the prosecution witnesses to shreds.
Damn straight,
There was one alleged eyewitness to this killing,
the lady.
and there was a lot of circumstantial evidence. But actually, those 2 witnesses were the entire case for the prosecution. Supposing they're wrong.
What do you mean, supposing they're wrong?
They've proved that people don't actually have good memory when stuff like this happens.
They're only people. People make mistakes. Could they be wrong?
They could be.
Oh, come on, nobody can know a thing like that. This isn't an exact science.
That's right, it isn't.
This is a great case study in human behavior.
What about the switch knife?
Wait a minute. There's some people who haven't talked yet. Shouldn't we go in order?
They'll get a chance. Be quiet a second, will you?
Oh my God, you're so rude. No fairness in here.
All right, let's talk about it. Let's get it in here and look at it. I'd like to see it again, Mr. Foreman.
The gentleman has a right to see exhibits and evidence.
That is true. They get to re-look over things they need. Oh, but they're actually going to look at the evidence of the knife.
The knife and the way it was bought is pretty strong evidence, don't you think?
I do.
Good. The boy admitted going out of the house at 8 o'clock on the night of the murder after being slapped several times by his father.
He said punch. There's a difference.
Oh, that's a big-ass difference.
He went directly to a neighborhood junk shop where he bought one of those switchblade knives. It had a very unusual carved handle and blade. The storekeeper who sold it to him said it was the only one of its kind he had ever had in stock. Am I right so far?
Yes, you are.
You bet he is.
Eye roll.
He claims that he went to a movie at about 11:30, returning home at 3:10 to find his father dead and himself arrested.
And he also claims that the two detectives arrested him and threw him down a half a flight of stairs.
Oh, they didn't treat him well.
Claims that it fell through a hole in his pocket on the way to the movie sometime between 11:30 and 3:10, and that he never saw it again.
He was framed.
I think it's quite clear that the boy never went to the movies that night.
They probably saw somebody else.
Identified him, he couldn't even remember the names of the pictures he saw.
Yeah, because he's been slapped and punched in the frickin' head his whole life.
Now, are you trying to tell me that this knife really fell through a hole in the boy's pockets?
No, I'm just saying it's possible the boy lost his knife and that somebody else stabbed his father with a similar knife. It's just possible.
100% possible. Oh, God, are you allowed to do that with evidence?
I've never seen one like it. Neither had the storekeeper who sold it to the boy. Aren't you asking us to accept a pretty incredible coincidence?
I'm just saying a coincidence is possible.
And I say it's not possible.
Where did that come from?
Holy shit.
Where did you get it?
I went out walking for a couple of hours last night. I walked through the boy's neighborhood. I bought that in a little pawn shop just 2 blocks from the boy's house.
It's against the law to buy or sell switchblade knives.
That's right, I broke the law.
Supposing you tell me what it proves.
Can't you see what it proves? A lot of people could have this knife.
You mean you're asking us to believe that somebody else did the stabbing with exactly the same kind of knife?
The odds are 1,000,000 to 1.
It's possible.
I'm stunned. I'm stunned.
You know, it's interesting that he'd find a knife exactly like the one the boy bought.
He's got this guy thinking for sure. Ooh,
Oh, I just thought it was interesting.
There are still 11 of us here who think he's guilty.
Right.
this guy's a frickin' hero.
You want to be stubborn and hang this jury? Go ahead. The kid will be tried again and found guilty as sure as he's born.
Probably right.
And maybe he'll have a better lawyer and a better jury that will give him a chance.
A boy may die.
The chair? Oh my good lord. This script is so good. It's so sharp, and it's crazy that this is in a single setting, and it's so compelling. I'm so hooked.
Well, what about it?
You're the only one.
Because he's the only one like opening his mind and like actually asking the questions you should ask yourself, especially when you're on a jury.
Proposition to make to all of you. I'm going to call for another vote. Vote by secret written ballot.
Oh.
There are 11 votes for guilty. I won't stand alone. We'll take in a guilty verdict to the judge right now. But if anyone votes not guilty, we stay here and talk it out.
Oh.
All right, let's do it the hard way.
Yeah, that sounds fair. Everyone agreed?
What a man. He's really standing by his conviction, though, and he's really ready to play ball and give it a chance. Oh, the music. I think he swayed a couple people. I think he swayed at least 2 people.
Guilty.
Did he sway at least 1?
Guilty. Guilty.
This is going to be the last one. Secret ballot.
Not guilty. Boy, how do you like that? Who was it? Come on, I want to know.
He doesn't have to say.
This was a secret ballot. We all agreed on that, no?
Well, there's this old guy, the guy that thought it was interesting, and the guy that grew up in the slums.
You sit here, vote guilty like the rest of us. Couldn't help becoming a murderer, and you change your vote. Why don't you drop a quarter in this collection box?
How dare you?
Just wait a minute. Listen, you can't talk to me like that.
Excitable? You bet I'm excitable. We're trying to put a guilty man in the chair where he belongs.
He didn't change his vote. I did.
Oh, sweetheart.
Would you like me to tell you why?
Yes.
Oh, I wouldn't like you to tell me why.
Oh, he's got a little grin.
We have to listen to this.
Yeah, you do. You're in the jury room.
This gentleman has been standing alone against us. Now, he doesn't say the boy is not guilty. He just isn't sure.
Exactly.
It's not easy to stand alone against the ridicule of others. So he gambled for support. And I gave it to him. I respect his motives.
My God, I'm going to cry. He's so sweet.
Right now, the vote is 10-2. I'm talking here. You have no right to leave this
Can't
room.
hear you. You never will. Let's sit down.
How disrespectful to walk away like that when this sweet gentleman is talking. So disrespectful. My God.
Looks like we're really hung up here, huh?
Literally, that knife is a turning point. Crazy how the evidence isn't in a bag or anything.
What do you do?
I'm a watchmaker.
Well, I imagine the finest watchmakers in the world come from Europe, huh? Run it up the flagpole and see if anyone salutes it. I mean, it's idiotic, but it's funny, huh?
This guy's like in his own world.
Got a little excited back there. I didn't mean to get nasty.
Oh, now you're apologizing, you hothead. He's like, screw you. I would want to deliberate. Someone's life's on the line. Is he gonna go try to talk to this guy? None of the fans are working, are they? I'm more concerned about how you look than someone's life that's on the line.
Hey, you a salesman?
I'm an architect.
They're a very diverse group of men.
I got a different technique. Laughs, drinks, jokes, tricks, you know? Hit them where they live. That's my motto.
Okay.
I made 27 grand last year selling marmalade. That's not bad. I mean, you know, considering marmalade.
I don't think this guy is concerned about your life.
You know, you do-gooders are all alike. Kid is guilty, pal. So why don't we stop wasting our time here? We're gonna all get sore throats if we keep it up, you know?
What difference does it make if you get it here at the ball game?
No difference at all.
Nice bunch of guys, huh? Boy, what a murderous day. You think we'll be much longer?
I don't know.
Oh, he's guilty for sure. Should have been done already.
They're all trying to cool off by washing their face because it's so hot in there.
Beats working. You think he's not guilty, huh?
I don't know. It's possible. Supposing you were the one that was on trial.
Supposing you talk us all out of this and kid really did knife his father, huh?
It's hard. The other side of the coin. Look, he did it. Would he murder again? He's not necessarily a serial killer, but also maybe he didn't do it and he got framed.
Well, I was wondering how clearly the old man could have heard the boy's voice through the ceiling.
Didn't hear it through the ceiling. The window was open. So was the one upstairs. It was a hot night.
And it's not that easy to identify a voice.
I agree.
And don't forget the lady across the street. She looked right in the open window and saw the boy stab his father. Now, I mean, isn't that enough for you?
No, it isn't.
Boy, how do you like this guy, huh?
The guy has no time for this.
Cars on the train. She saw the killing through the last 2 cars.
Has anybody here any idea how long it would take an elf?
They're not even listening. They're playing tic-tac-toe. You jerks.
This isn't a game.
It's not. It's a life.
The nerve.
All right, listen,
The absolute nerve.
Has anybody any idea how long it takes an elevated train going at medium speed to pass a given point?
What has that to do with anything?
How long?
I wouldn't have the slightest idea.
What do you think?
It would block your vision.
It takes a 6-car L train 10 seconds to pass a given point.
Why isn't this guy a frickin' prosecutor or on the defense?
Punchy.
I lived in a second-floor apartment near the L line once. When the window is open and the train goes by, the noise is almost unbearable. You can hardly hear yourself think.
You get to the point.
I will, now just a minute.
Isn't that the point?
Testimony and try to put them together. The old man in the apartment downstairs. He says he heard the boy say, "I'm gonna kill you," and a split second later heard a body hit the floor.
But the other lady saw the murder through the train.
She looked out of the window and saw the killing through the last 2 cars of a passing elevated train.
Well, what are you giving us here?
Come on.
Since the woman saw the killing through the last 2 cars, we can assume that the body hit the floor just as the train went by. Would have had to hear the boy make this statement with the L roaring past his nose. It's not possible he could have heard it.
Wow.
You're talking about a matter of seconds. Nobody can be that accurate.
Well, I think testimony that could put a boy into the electric chair should be that accurate.
It should be. Wow, just from listening, he was able to put those 2 together and question that. Wow, that's brilliant.
Why should he lie? What's he got to gain?
Attention, maybe.
Oh.
Coming in with these bright sayings. What
What are you talking to him like that for?
Yeah, he deserves respect. He's an old man.
Talks like that to an old man really ought to get stepped on, you know?
Exactly.
You ought to have more respect, mister. You say stuff like that to him again, I'm gonna lay you out.
Good for you. Give the elderly the respect they deserve. Yes. That guy doesn't care. He just cares about himself.
Now, you go
He's
ahead.
a big-ass
You say anything
bully.
you like.
Yeah, it was just that I looked at him for a very long time. Seemed the jacket was split. Oh, did you notice that? I mean, to come to court like that. He was dragging his left leg and trying to hide it because he was ashamed.
Oh.
I think I know this man better than anyone here.
He's so observant.
Insignificant old man who has been nothing all his life. That's a very sad thing to be nothing.
You trying to do? Tell us he lied just so he could be important once?
But perhaps he made himself believe he heard those words.
That's the most fantastic story I've ever heard. How can you make up a thing like that? What do you know about it?
This phrase, how many times have all of us used it? Probably thousands. I could kill you for that, darling. You say it every day. That doesn't mean we're really going to kill him.
Wait a minute. What are you trying to...
That's true.
Don't tell me you didn't mean it. Anybody says a thing like that the way he said it, they mean it.
Stop yelling and bullying everybody.
Now listen, this guy's trying to make you believe things that aren't so.
God.
The boy'd shout out a thing like that so the whole neighborhood could hear him?
No.
I don't think so. He's much too bright for that.
Bright. He's a common, ignorant slob. He don't even speak good English.
He doesn't even speak good English. Mr. Foreman, I'd like to change my vote to not guilty.
You what?
You heard me.
Yeah, because he's bigots. Where do you think you're going?
Boy, oh boy, I'm telling you, this guy here is really something.
He was court appointed.
Now, what's that supposed to
Well,
mean?
it could mean a lot of things. It could mean he didn't want the case or he resented being appointed. He'd really have to believe in his client to put up any kind of a good case, and as you pointed out a minute ago, obviously he did.
Yeah, you could have put up a better case for him.
Oh, look, when you look at the time, huh?
Oh, your ball game.
I have made some notes here, and I would like, please, to say something.
Yes,
It seems to me that this man has some very good points to make.
he really does.
The boy looks guilty on the surface, but maybe if we go deeper... Come on, will ya? There is a question I would like to ask. If he really had killed his
Why would he go
father,
back home?
why would he come back home 3 hours later?
Great question, sir.
Home to get his knife. It's not nice to go around leaving knives sticking in people's chests.
No, you wouldn't.
Be relatives.
Yeah.
No, you two, stop. God, I'm so serious.
Well, I think we can assume the boy ran out in a state of panic after having just killed his
Or
father.
maybe he didn't kill his father. And he would just go in when the cops were there.
He would have had to be calm enough to see to it that there were no fingerprints left on the knife.
Look, you voted guilty. What side are you on?
I'm simply asking questions.
I love when people ask more questions. I love
Well,
it.
if I were the boy and I'd done the stabbing and everything, I'd take a chance and go back for the knife. I'll bet he figured that nobody had seen him running out and that the body wouldn't be discovered till the next day. I'll bet he figured nobody'd find the body till the next day.
This is my whole point. She screamed. The boy certainly must have heard the scream. So he knew that somebody saw something.
That's why he ran out.
Think that he would have gone back.
I don't think he would have either.
He may not have heard the scream. Perhaps it wasn't very loud. If he did hear it, he may not have connected it with his own act. Remember, he lived in a neighborhood where screams were fairly commonplace.
There's your answer.
Oh, it's as simple as that.
Maybe all of those things happened, but maybe they didn't. I think there's enough doubt that we can wonder whether he was there at all during the time the killing took place.
Witnesses can make mistakes.
Sure, when you want them to, they do, or when he wants them to, they do.
I just feel like there's a couple jurors that aren't going to switch their vote.
Let everybody here. I'm talking here.
Another vote called for.
I never saw so much time spent on nothing.
It only takes a second.
It's not nothing, though. That's what you don't understand. You think this young man's life is nothing, and that's so awful.
I vote not guilty.
Oh.
Yes.
The kid is guilty. Why don't you listen to the facts?
The vote is 8-4, favor of guilty.
Hey, what is this? Love your underprivileged brother week or something? Now, what about this, Mr. Reasonable Doubt?
That's not the knife, don't you remember?
Are we supposed to believe that he didn't get up and run to his door and see the kid tearing down the steps 15 seconds after the killing?
It could have been another kid that looked like him.
Did your man say he ran to the door?
Ran, walked, what's the difference?
He said he ran, at least I think he did.
Oh,
Foreman, I'd like to see a diagram of the apartment.
yes.
Tell him run the trial all over again.
That's the point. You're supposed to go over the evidence. Well, this guy hasn't even called his son in 2 years, so what kind of man are you? You must have done something, and he must not have forgiven you, so You're too ashamed to call him.
He was an old man. Half the time he was confused. How could he be positive about anything?
There you go, sir. You just contradicted yourself. Oh no, he just realized it. I can't wait to study this movie and every single character. It's such an interesting study on human behavior.
It couldn't have been more than 15 seconds.
Oh, they're getting so hot in there. The air must be so thick.
All right, here's the apartment where the killing took place.
Architect, you should be a lawyer.
Or all in 15 seconds. You think he could have done it?
He can walk only very slowly. They had to help him into the witness chair.
Right. He had the hurt leg. That's what he was trying to hide with the other old man, the other juror picked up on.
Didn't bring it up because it would have meant bullying and badgering a helpless old man.
So what kind of a bum is he then?
That's what I've been asking, buddy.
Oh, God, look at them all. That guy's got his hands on his hips. They're all so mad.
Crazy. You can't recreate a thing like that.
Dean, what are you wasting everybody's time in here
He's
for?
not wasting time. This is literally your job.
Come on, knock it off.
I feel like all these characters' individual arcs are quite amazing. And it's going to be even more amazing by the end.
What are we going to do, play charades now?
Come on.
Okay, you smartass. This is brilliant.
If you want me to walk faster than that, I will.
He's so fair. He gives so much to help prove his own points because he's just asking questions.
What's the time?
Exactly 41 seconds.
There's then assumed it was the boy.
I think that's possible.
Assume.
He's going to be the odd one out at the end that's going to just stick to guilty because he's just a coward. He can't even admit his own contradiction.
You all know he's guilty. He's got to burn. You're letting him slip through our fingers.
Through our fingers? Are you his executioner?
I'm one of them.
Perhaps you'd like to pull the switch.
For this kid, you bet I
I
would.
feel sorry for you. What it must feel like to want to pull the switch. Walked into this room, you've been acting like a self-appointed public avenger. You want to see this boy die because you personally want it, not because of the facts. You're a sadist.
I'll kill him!
You don't really mean you'll kill me, do you?
Oh, it's amazing. It's so amazing. He just keeps proving point after point after point after point. He's got him pinned. Oh, they're all just so sweaty. This guy's got to change. Come on. This has to be like a whole life change for you. A whole different worldview opening up for you, buddy. Look, it's literally the whole room against him now. That's literally the blocking.
I beg pardon.
I beg pardon. What are you so polite about?
Oh yeah, and then there's still this damn guy.
That's not why we are here to fight. We have a responsibility.
Mm-hmm. Take it very seriously.
A remarkable thing about democracy, that guilt or innocence of a man we have never heard of before. We should not make it a personal thing.
Mm-hmm. That other guy is taking it so personally, and I think it has something to do with him and what happened with him and his son and him and his life and his judgments.
Boy, oh boy, it's really hot, huh?
He still has a suit jacket on.
Don't you ever sweat?
No, I don't.
I'm like you, buddy.
Maybe we should take another vote.
Oh, great.
Call out our votes, you know. Let's see who stands where.
Okay.
I could vote guilty, too.
He hasn't really said much, though.
Not guilty.
Yes, I knew this guy was going to flip.
Guilty.
Yeah, of course. I have to memorize their numbers.
Guilty.
Not guilty. Not guilty.
Wow.
Guilty.
Not guilty.
I love these little shots of them individually.
Not guilty.
Sweetheart.
Guilty.
Not guilty.
Little capsules of their own personalities.
Guilty.
The vote is now 6-6.
I was going to say, is it tied? Yeah.
And we go into extra innings here, huh?
Mm-hmm. Sure do.
Kid like that.
I don't think the kind of boy he is has anything to do with it. The facts are supposed to determine the case.
I'd like to be a few years younger. That man gets on my...
Oh, it's so hot in there for him and everybody, but he's older. Nothing better happened to this guy or I'll be pissed. I feel like the more that they sweat, the more the room is getting so stuffy and like the more it's like closing in on them. And then it's nightfall, so like the room's getting a little bit darker. There's more shadows and everything. I've been really loving the light on the women's bathroom. Honestly, thank God for jurors like him that actually question the facts and question things that happen. Oh no, literally now the room is cut off from everything. They're really stuck in there now.
Hey, huh?
It's working now. Now you guys are going to be able to think straight because you're going to not be so hot. You'll be less frustrated.
Hey, 2 points.
Don't waste the paper. You're going to need those for the votes.
That's a damn stupid thing to do.
It is. It really is stupid.
Sorry, I
Don't care about anyone else's personal space.
Even Steven. Pretty surprising, isn't it?
Yes.
Tall guy, what's his name, was trying to bait me. And that doesn't prove anything. He was just trying to bait me.
He did an excellent job.
I'm ready to walk into court right now and declare a hung jury.
I think the judge will accept a hung jury. We haven't been in here very long.
Oh, the rain is really coming down.
Fully understand the term reasonable doubt.
What do you mean, I don't understand?
Maybe you don't understand it.
They're all alike. They come over here running for their life, and before they can take a deep breath, they're telling us how to run the show, huh? Boy, the arrogance of this guy.
I can just shake my head at that. Shake my frickin' head.
You think you could remember details after an upsetting experience such as being slapped in the face by your father?
That's what I said earlier.
The boy was questioned by the detectives in the kitchen of his apartment while the body of his father was lying on the floor in the bedroom. You could remember details under those circumstances?
I do.
Under great emotional stress?
What a great point.
I'll take the testimony of the policeman who interrogated the boy right after the
But
murder.
they also abused him, didn't they? Didn't they throw him down the stairs or something?
Where were you last night?
Quite violent with him.
I was home.
How about the night before that?
Come on, what is this?
No, that's all right.
Monday night?
Monday night,
This is how he's going to convince everyone, one by one.
my wife and I went to the movies.
What did you see?
The Scarlet Circle.
What was the second feature?
The, remarkable Mrs. Bainbridge. The remarkable Mrs. Bainbridge.
I saw that. It's called The Amazing Mrs. Bainbridge.
Who was in The Amazing Mrs. Bainbridge?
Barbara...
The rain is like the 13th man in this room.
You weren't under an emotional stress, were you?
Oh, look at he's actually sweating now. He's finally sweating.
I wasn't.
You better sweat, buddy. You're under pressure now.
The point is made.
Big point. Boy is guilty, period. Got those cough drops.
They're all gone, my friend. Say, could I see that knife a second, please?
What do you think you see?
There's something I'd like to say.
What is it?
Now, the boy was 5 feet 7 inches tall. His father was 6'2". It's a very awkward thing to
Are they gonna
stab
do the
down in.
height? Are they going to do the heights in the room?
I'll give you a demonstration. Somebody get up.
Don't actually stab him.
I want you to watch this because I don't want to have to do it again, Alan.
What's
This is the way it was done. Now tell me I'm wrong.
Talking about angles too in this. They've done a really good job with the camera. And
Anybody here ever see a knife fight?
Oh, I have. Funny, I never thought of it before. I guess you try to forget those things.
oh.
He never use it like this. See, you lose too much time switching hands. Here's how. Underhanded.
Oh.
Who's ever used the switch knife wouldn't handle it any other way.
Are you sure?
Oh, interesting.
That's why they made it open like that.
Whoosh.
You think he could have made the kind of wound that killed his father?
No. I feel he'd have gone for him underhanded.
How do you know? What do you think?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't know. But I'm getting a little tired of this yakking back and forth. It's getting us nowhere.
It's too bad for you. You're stuck in the jury.
I changed my vote to not guilty.
You what?
You heard me. I had enough.
That's not an answer. What kind of a man are you?
Exactly.
Voted guilty with everyone else because there are some baseball tickets burning a hole.
Calling him out. That really pissed him off.
Play like this with a man's life.
I was saying earlier before, I love the camera angles because they really show like all the power shifts and all the power dynamics and like holding it on all their faces, all the different blocking in the room. It's been quite amazing.
Vote not
right?
guilty, then do it because you are convinced the man is not guilty and not because you've had enough. Don't you have the guts to do what you think is right?
Yeah, this guy's a coward too.
You do have to. Say it. Why?
I don't think he's guilty.
Want another vote?
He's very proud of himself, but he's also a little bit worried.
Okay, all those voting not guilty, raise your hands.
1, 2, 3.
Now they're showing the hand vote. Why did you flip?
9.
pleading guilty. 1, 2, 3.
I can't believe that guy that finally sweat didn't flip.
You people, I mean, all these picky little points you keep bringing up, they don't mean nothing.
They mean everything.
Look, you know how these people lie? It's born in them. You know that.
God, he doesn't want to hear your bullshit.
Where are you going?
Doesn't want to listen to you.
Don't mean as much to them as it does to us.
How dare you think like that?
If somebody gets killed, so somebody gets killed. They don't care.
You just think you're so much better than everybody else. It's actually disgusting. Look at this, the blocking again. Everyone is literally turning their back on him.
What's going on here?
Oh, even that guy is. They're sick of listening to you.
They're no good. There's not a one of them who's any good.
That could be somebody in your family, be one of your friends.
What's happening in here?
Look at this. This is brilliant. Another shift in the power dynamics. It's just absolutely beautiful. It's like we all know somebody like this guy. It's like his performance is incredible.
These people are dangerous.
No.
Listen, I have. Sit down and don't open your mouth again.
You're not listening to the facts. You just have all your biases and your prejudice. I can never say that word. Your prejudices. You just think, you know, we know everybody because of one thing. And yeah, you better feel bad. You better feel like a POS because it's just an absolute horrendous worldview and a horrible way to think about people in the world. Oh, look at this. Oh, that poor old man.
Difficult to keep personal prejudice out of a thing like this.
Exactly.
Gambling on probabilities, we may be wrong, but we have a reasonable doubt. Very valuable in our system. We 9 can't understand how you 3 are still so sure. Maybe you can tell us.
I'll try.
Okay, let's hear you.
The woman across the street who actually saw the murder committed.
As far as I'm concerned, it's the most important testimony.
But they debunked that already. Look how sweet they are in listening to him, not even cutting him off.
But that she got a good look at the boy, unshakable testimony.
It's pretty shakeable because of the L train. What are you going to come up with?
All right, I'm changing my mood. He's guilty. Why is this such a personal triumph for you?
It's based on his life and his son. It's so personal to him.
You're the leader of the cause. What about it?
No point in getting nasty.
Oh, the rain is getting just as loud as he is. I just can't handle his yelling.
I think that's a point at which we might begin to discuss the question of whether we're a hung jury or not.
Interrupting, but you made a gesture that reminded me of something.
He's so particular with his seeing and watching all the body language.
I was wondering why you rub your nose like that.
Oh, come on, will you?
At this point, I happen to be talking to the gentleman sitting next to you.
Yes, lay down the law, sir.
Is it because of your eyeglasses?
It is.
Your eyeglasses made those 2 deep impressions.
What are you getting at?
Oh, I wouldn't know about that. I've never worn eyeglasses. 2020.
He's such a cutie.
The woman who testified that she saw the killing had those same marks on the sides of her nose.
I knew it. I knew that's where he was going. Something about her vision.
Just give me a minute.
Was she rubbing her nose?
If anyone else knows that about her, I've been going over her face in my mind.
This is like something I would do.
She had those same marks.
And she went on the stand without glasses.
He's right. Now, she did do that a lot.
She's making a tremendous effort to look 35 for her first public appearance.
What a hero. Hero.
What do you mean, no glasses?
Now, she had those marks. I saw them. Listen, I'm getting so sick of your yelling at him.
Me too. I am so sick of it.
He's right. I saw them, too. I was the closest one to her. She had these
Marks be made by anything other than eyeglasses?
No.
No, they couldn't.
This script is so brilliant. It's absolutely delicious.
There are 12 people in here concentrating on this case. 11 of us didn't think of it either.
Have her testify without her glasses?
Yep.
Okay, she had marks on her nose. I'm giving you that.
So how would she be able to see exactly who the killer was?
But when she saw this kid killing his father, she was in the house alone.
But she was in bed, so she wouldn't be wearing her glasses.
You wear glasses when you go to bed?
No, no one wears eyeglasses to bed.
Yeah, you have time to grab your glasses and look out the window.
Maybe she honestly thought she saw the boy kill his father. I say she only saw a blur.
How do you know what she saw? How does he know all that?
You don't know. That's the point.
I only know the woman's eyesight is in question now.
You can't send someone off to die on evidence like that.
Don't give me that.
That's true, though.
Made a mistake?
No.
It's not possible.
No, it's not possible.
Get yourself together, man.
Not guilty.
I mean, over top
You
of
think
him
he's
now.
guilty?
I think he's guilty.
Oh, you're the only one left now. This guy's having a whole life rebirth.
I'm convinced. Not guilty.
What's the matter with you?
You can't yell your way out of this one, buddy.
Well, you said we could throw out all the other evidence.
I don't think he's gonna give up though, because he's too stubborn.
You're alone. I don't care whether I'm alone or not.
Yeah, you do.
It's your right.
Oh, he's churning inside. Look at everyone staring him down.
I want to hear your arguments.
I gave you my arguments.
We're not convinced. We have as much time as it takes.
Wow, he has been so gentle, but so powerful. It's very interesting.
Oh, this business about the knife. What, 'cause we found another one exactly like it? But you can't prove it. I bet you $5,000 I'd remember the movies I saw.
You wouldn't, though. You're too proud. You can't even question anything. You probably don't even question anything else in your life.
I'm telling you, I've got all the facts here.
You wrote it all down?
Uh-huh.
Here's a photo of him and his son. Oh, this would be so awkward, but the other guy handled it well. And he defended himself, and then he got someone to switch.
You lousy bunch of bleeding hearts. Not going to intimidate me. I'm entitled to my opinion. Rotten kids, you work your life out.
Don't do that to your picture of you and your son. He's so bitter. You're going to regret that one. Yeah, you're going to regret that. Oh, he's going to break down. It's like he's taking it out on this kid because of what his son did to him.
Not guilty. Not guilty.
It broke him. You're going to have to go mend your relationship with your son, man. Oh, wow. Wow. God. Oh, my God. Well, I think you guys did your job today. The court is going to be shocked. A lot of men changed today. What a cool shot through the little closet. Oh, what are you going to say to him? And he's been white, too. It's almost like he's an angel. Powerful color choice for that character. You going to help him? Wow. What generosity. You'd want someone like that on your jury if you were going out of the chair. Oh, he can't even look at him. Was he the same thing what he did when he looked at the boy when he left and then he's looking at the room? Did he leave the knife? Little capsule of jury duty. They're all leaving the courthouse.
What's your name?
Davis.
My name's McArdle. Well, so long.
Probably never see you again, but I was proud to know you for those several hours. That's literally jury duty. Is that it? At the end, Martin Balsam, John Fiedler. Yeah, I loved him. Lee Jacob, a fantastic actor. E.J. Marshall. These men are amazing. Jack Coleman, Edward Binns, Jack Warden, Henry Fonda. Okay, I was wondering if that was him. Joseph Sweeney, such a sweetheart. Ed Begley, he was amazing. George Voskovich, Robert Weber. Wow. Thank you guys so much for watching with me, 12 Angry Men. That's probably one of the best movies I've ever seen. It's thought-provoking. The camera techniques were amazing. I loved watching this ensemble cast that I've never seen these men before. I'd have to really look at movies that I've seen, but this was incredible performance, an incredible script, and the direction and the storytelling were so compelling. I was hooked at the very beginning of this. I also love jury duty, true crime and stuff, so I thought this was a really amazing look into human behavior, into prejudice and biases, and it really has you thinking, and it really makes you be like, I need to listen to other people. So thank you so much for being here. Let me know all your thoughts down below in the comments. Let me know if you love this movie. I think it definitely deserves a spot on the AFI list. This is one of the best movies I've ever seen. There is so much to study about this movie and to learn about this movie, and I cannot wait to rewatch this for the rest of my life. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you love movies, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the like, the notification bell so you never miss a video upload. I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao.